Hello, happy Friday, and welcome into another edition of your favorite podcast, Burgers and Brats. Man, what a show we have for you. The college football playoff round one. It's here. We got some fantastic matchups. The GOAT, my childhood hero, John Cena, officially retires in probably one of the worst ways ever scripted in history of anything. Break down into that a little more. And then week 16 in the NFL is here. So got a lot to look forward to, a lot to break down, a lot to talk about. But before we get started, make sure to follow the podcast, any platform, any streaming service, literally anywhere. Get your podcast at Burgers and Brats and stay up to date with latest news on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Burgers and Brats. And hopefully you're watching live on millions.co or YouTube at Burgers and Brats. And you can watch the video later on Spotify when this comes out. So let's start with the big fish, college football playoff. It is here. Second year in this format, 12-team format, and last year was good. This year should be pretty solid as well. Now, like I talked about this on the previous episode, I get Notre Dame being left out. I understand that. I think it should have been done a few weeks prior to where it's not the final rankings that Miami jumps in and takes that spot over Notre Dame, but I do think the committee got it right. I do think James Madison deserves to have that spot. They're the highest ranked, second highest ranked conference champion. Now, is it better football that they're in over some of these teams? No, but you got to win your games if you're some of these programs, and they just didn't do it, and that's why JMU is in. So, should be some good games, but, I mean, yeah, there's maybe two spots where, like, it doesn't mean much. And let's start with that James Madison team, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Saturday, or 6:30 Central Saturday on TNT. From now on, I'm giving my times in my time zone. I'm doing Central. I'm done giving y'all Eastern time zones. I get confused. I'm sick of it. Just you're getting my time, the Central time, the GOAT time. So deal with that. But this game, 24 JMU at number 5 Oregon. Oregon a 21-point favorite in this one. That's a lot of points in a playoff game, and it's against an inferior opponent. Not much to break down, but it probably won't be much of a game. I think JMU is going to be good. They got Billy Napier coming in next year to be their head coach. And their quarterback, Barnett, it's pretty solid. 2,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and he can do it on the ground with 544 rushing yards and 14 tutties through the ground as well. And their running back, Knight, I mean, it's day and night when this guy's on the field. 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. So, do have some explosion in that backfield for Madison. Oregon, Dante Moore, we've seen him all year, 2,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Now, he looks mobile. He is mobile, but he doesn't really like to use his legs. He's like Kyler Murray. He can do it when he needs to. 191 rushing yards, only 1 touchdown on the ground. And this JMU offense, I mean, they're no bums. I mean, 448 yards. They are not great in the air, 202 passing yards a game. Not great. That's 93rd in the country. But they're 5th in the country in rushing yards a game, 245 yards on the ground per outing. That's fantastic no matter what conference or division you play in. And their defense, they're 2nd in yards allowed, 247. They're 12th in passing yards allowed, 171. And they're 2nd in rushing yards allowed per game at 76. These Bulldogs are not going to roll over for these Oregon Ducks. They can come to play. And then Oregon offensively, of course, they've been great. 465 yards total and 218 rushing yards, so they can put the ball on the ground as well. Their defense, fantastic. Top 4 in the country, 251 total yards allowed, 144 passing yards allowed. That's 3rd. And good, only allowing 107 rushing yards a game. So watch that Oregon D-line versus this Madison running attack. JMU 5-1 on the road. Oregon 6-1 at home. JMU has not faced a top 25 opponent yet. This will be their first, obviously, and then Oregon is 2-1 versus top 25. It's going to be a close game in the first half, in my opinion. It will be. Everyone's amped up. Be ready to play, but Oregon is the superior power here. Give me Oregon 34-14 in this one. I think it could be a fun game, at least for a half. But Oregon is going to waddle away with this one. All right, and then 2:30 Central on TNT, number 20 Tulane at number 6 Ole Miss, technically number 11, but Ole Miss 17.5-point favorites in this one, and this is a rematch of Week 4 where Ole Miss won 45-10. Now Tulane is a better team now. Of course, their coach Summerall is leaving to go to Florida after this, probably after this game, but after this, Tulane is done with the playoff. And I mean, this Ole Miss team, I mean, the big story, they're without Lane Kiffin, so we're going to see how much that impacts their ability offensively. Tulane's quarterback, Retzlaff, the transfer from BYU, 2,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he's the leading rusher with 610 yards and 16 touchdowns. This guy is the Lamar Jackson. Well, and then the other side for Ole Miss, they've also got a Lamar Jackson. So both quarterbacks, fantastic through there and the ground. Quarterbacks Trinidad Chambliss for Ole Miss, 3,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. I mean, you can't ask for much better for your quarterback to not turn the ball over. I mean, that is why this team is ranked so high. That's why they've won so many games. That is fantastic from your QB. And when you add 470 yards on the ground and 6 touchdowns, that also helps quite a bit. Tulane, kind of mid offensively, 40th total, mid 50s in their passing and rushing attack, not great. And this Ole Miss defense has been pretty solid, especially against the pass. So Retzlaff is going to have to make some plays through the air. Tulane's defense, not great as well, 66 in the country, 375 yards allowed per game, and they're 123rd against the pass. So Trinidad, it could be some barbecue chicken over there because their offense puts up nearly 500 yards a game. That's third. And then 309 passing yards a game. That's third as well. So Trinidad could be in for a big-time game. It just depends. How much does this team miss Lane Kiffin? That is literally that's the main factor to look into. I don't think it should matter much in this game. It will matter a little bit. It'll probably be a lot closer than 7. I think it's at least closer than 17. And it's going to be fun, especially in that first half where both teams are kind of getting to know each other again. I know they've already played, but they've changed since week 4. Ole Miss 8-0 at home, Tulane 4-2 out on the road, and both 2-1 versus top 25. I just don't see Tulane's defense getting enough stops, getting enough turnovers, getting enough pressure to win this game. Give me Ole Miss 35-23. The Rebels over the Wave. All right, and then 11 a.m. on ABC on Saturday. Number 10 Miami at number 7 Texas A&M. A&M a 3.5-point favorite in this one. This will be a fun name brand type of game. Don't know when the last time these two teams played, but it'll be fun watching those decals on the helmets go at each other. First playoffs for both of these teams, and I mean, came in with A&M, of course, with that solid year. They've been as high as, I think they got number 3 in the country at one point, but then that loss to Texas kind of dropped them down, but they're still a really good football team, such as Marcel Reed and Mike Elko. Winner get to Ohio State in this one. It's like, do we really want to win? Do we want to go play Ohio State? I don't know. They lost to Indiana. They're beatable out in, I believe it's the Cotton Bowl. So if A&M wins this game, they're going to have home field advantage in the Cotton Bowl if they make it to the second round versus Ohio State. But got to get through Miami first. A&M tied in the lead in the country with 41 sacks and had the 19th total defense in the FBS. Miami, though, they are 6th in scoring D, 13.8 points per game. That's all they allow. And they're 11th in total D, only allowing 277 yards, and 7th in rushing attack, only allowing 86 yards on the ground and outing. I mean, this is going to be a defensive-minded game. It could be 17-13. It is going to be a probably boring game if you like offense. You are not going to want to tune in for this one. Both quarterbacks, I mean, when I tell you this, they're exactly identical. 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. All of those stats completely identical. I mean, insane for this type of year. 10 interceptions. Carson Beck, Marcel Reed, and John Mateer, the only quarterbacks. They are leading the league in interceptions. So Not great to be leading, but Marcel Reed makes up for it on the ground. 466 rushing yards this season with 6 tutties. Got to use his legs if they want to win this game. You have to incorporate the quarterback run. It is you have to, especially in these big time moments. Both teams have great wide receiver options as well. A&M's Concepcion is also the punt returner, lethal punt returner. He's got 886 yards on the air, 9 touchdowns, and 15.5 yards per catch. Throw this man the rock. Wide receiver Tony from Miami, 970 yards, 7 touchdowns this season. And as a top 20 offense, Miami 18th in their pass attack. So Marcel could have some lanes closed down, maybe rely more on that run game for him and his running back because Miami is 78th in rushing defense. That is their only weakness. Otherwise, they've been really solid, but you gotta open up some stuff. A&M secondary is very, very solid, and they're 7-0 at home as the Aggies are, as they get to go play under 102,000 fans. That is a big, big shift and just huge for the game. That crowd can definitely make an impact. Miami 3-1 on the road, so really haven't been able to travel outside the state of Florida, and I believe 3 of those games were in Florida, or 2 of them. So really have not left the state at all. Miami 4-0 versus top 25. A&M 3-1. This is going to be a battle. It's going to be probably last possession or so, and this could be a pick'em as well. Give me A&M in this one, 21-18. It's going to be low scoring, not many points. I mean, the over/under is set at 48.5. I don't know. Both these teams could be struggling to get 20 each. So, gonna be fun, but give me A&M in this one at home. All right. And then the game of the week, the prime time. This one's Friday night. They put it Friday for prime time, 7 p.m. Central on ABC. You can also watch on ESPN. You can watch the simulcast on ESPN2, SEC Network as well. They got the radio calls. And I'm hearing rumblings that 50 Cent is going to be walking out this Oklahoma team to begin the game Friday night. So looking forward to that. It's number 9 Alabama at number 8 Oklahoma. Alabama a 1.5 point favorite in this one. And if you remember, not too long ago, week 12, Oklahoma won 23-21 on the road in Tuscaloosa as I believe 5.5 point dogs. Now they're dogs at home versus a team they already beat, who a team they shut down the second half, only allowing or actually 3 turnovers. Got 3 turnovers off of Alabama, including an interception, 87-yard interception return touchdown. Brent Venables is 2-0 versus Kellen DeBoer. They did get outgained 212-406 versus Alabama, but man, you got a blocked field goal as well for Oklahoma. And this is the Bama team that I think ranks 100 in the 100 teams in special teams. Oklahoma is near the top. They have the Lou Groza award-winning kicker and Tate Sandell. Their punter is fantastic for Oklahoma. So complete opposite ends for these special teams, and that's what wins games. You got to look at that third option. It's not offense, it's not defense, it's special teams. And this Oklahoma team doesn't get nearly as far without their without their kicker as well. So biggest factor there. And Bama, they've never been beaten twice in the same season. I think you got to go back all the way to 1890 for Bama to beat twice in a single year. And also, Oklahoma's looking to beat Alabama for the third straight time in 2 years. Big ass against the Crimson Tide. It's going to be a defensive game, and which quarterback can take care of the ball. Remember, Ty Simpson threw 2 interceptions last time. Could have had 3, but got bailed out by a PI call in that game as well. And then John Mateer had 0 interceptions. Just kind of barely did enough to not let this team get down and let the defense make plays. And Mateer, last outing versus LSU, threw 3 interceptions. That is not going to work against this Bama team that is actually somewhat competent offensively. Bama, like I said, Oklahoma defense shut them down for that final 4 drives where they only allowed Bama to have 57 total yards. And now you say it's hard to beat a team twice in a year. The team that won the first matchup, and they played again that same year, that winning team has won the second matchup 56% of the time. So it is definitely on Oklahoma's side for this one. Ty Simpson, though, 3,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions on the year. Pretty good, keeping the ball out of opponents' hands. And like I said earlier, John Mateer has 10 interceptions. He's got 2,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, but he also adds 416 yards on the ground and 7 TDs. You have to use John Mateer's legs, but you can't be stupid with the play calling. You got to be elusive, and you just got to know situationally when to use it. And like I said, Mateer's got 2,500 yards. That's not great for your starting quarterback. Of course, he has dealt with that thumb injury ever since that Auburn game, very early weeks into the season. And this is not the same quarterback we saw before SEC conference play, really. For these teams, Satanga, big factor for Oklahoma, 948 yards, 7 touchdowns. But both teams' rushing attack, absolutely abysmal in this. Alabama's 117th, Oklahoma 106th. But I do feel that Oklahoma has more of an ability to get a ground game going in this one. Xavier Robinson has been hurt with a knee injury. Troy Blaylock has shown signs as a true freshman. But Alabama, they've tried, and nothing has worked for this team. And like I said, you have John Mateer who can run the ball. And like I said, he did put up over 300 yards the other week versus LSU, but also had 3 interceptions. Cannot do that. R. Mason Thomas should be back for Oklahoma. This is a guy who, remember, the 25-yard stiff arm, the 75-yard fumble return touchdown, got hurt on that play versus Tennessee, but he should be back for this game for the first time in 7 weeks. Bama still has some injuries as well. Oklahoma could be without their starting center in this game. That's huge. And for these teams, Bama 4-1 on the road. Oklahoma 6-1 at home. Excuse me. Tough place to play in Norman, and the atmosphere is going to be rocking in this one. And both these teams have played SEC schedules. And versus top 25, Alabama's 4-2, Oklahoma 5-1. And I know they say it's hard to beat a team twice, but like I said, the team that won the first matchup usually wins the second one more than 0.5% of the time. So give me Oklahoma in this one, 26-24. Why not? I didn't like what I saw a few weeks ago versus Alabama. They had to use some plays. They got a little more banged up, and I just did not like what I saw. You get John Mateer a few extra weeks to maybe find a rhythm to go over some plays and just get something going. So give me Oklahoma in this one. It could be a coin toss. I think this game is a coin toss as well. Really, flip it up, call it how you see it, but give me Oklahoma over Alabama. All right, then real quick, elsewhere in the college football world. Sorry, I don't have any water, but man, those allergies are kicking right now. Especially, in the winter, all the sickness going on. Not fun, but Fernando Mendoza, the first Indiana player to win the Heisman. He wins it over Diego Pavia. And I think this was the right choice. Now, I don't think he's the best overall player. I think Jeremiah Love's the best overall player. But when you lose 2 games, especially early in the season, and you're a running back, you're not going to get much grace, and it's just going to go. It's not going to work out for you. When you're the quarterback of the number 1 team in the country, that's when people pay attention. People are going to vote for you. But this was a very weak Heisman winner. Nothing against him, but this was a terrible winner. Any other year, this guy's not even sniffing getting invited to New York. It was a bad overall year with Sam, with Pavia. His stats aren't great. Mendoza is 24th in passing yards per game in the country. 24th. He had 1 game where he passed over 300 yards. That's it. This is not a Heisman-winning quarterback. There's no Heisman defending plays besides maybe him getting smacked in that first play against Ohio State and somehow coming back. I guess that's it. But he led a game-winning drive versus versus 3-6 Penn State. He had 2,900 yards, 33 touchdowns. That's pretty good. 6 turnovers. And he had 240 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. So, first Indiana player to win. Very mid quarterback. And of the previous 10 Heisman quarterback winners, he was 800 yards below the next lowest passing yard total. And that was Johnny Manziel, who had 3,700 yards. I mean, my goodness. I guess it's a weak schedule they got to play. Didn't really need him that much. He does have some decent, touchdowns are good, but just not much through the air. And I really don't see an NFL future with Mendoza. I guess you can see he runs, but I just do not see the next step, the next ladder with him playing on Sundays. And hopefully I don't have many Indian fans in my mentions saying, what the heck are you talking about? I just do not see it. I don't think he's going to be drafted very high. Heck of a kid, though. Fun kid, cool kid, good kid. But it was a weak Heisman. I think if Jeremiah Love, they win one more game, then he wins the Heisman. He was probably the overall best player. But Mendoza wins it. Congrats to Indiana on a great year. Just weak Heisman, in my opinion, this season. All right, let's go on this day in history. Sponsored by Hefner Eye Care. 1917, 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution authorized the prohibition of alcohol. 2009, I remember when this came out. The Avatar released in the United States, becoming the highest grossing film of all time. 2022, I remember watching this. Everybody was watching this. I don't like soccer. I don't watch soccer, but I was watching this. The FIFA World Cup final. Argentina versus France. Messi versus Mbappe. Mbappe had a hat trick in this game. This game goes to extras, whatever you call it. But France wins 4-2 in penalty, and Messi scores 2 in the game. So, fantastic stuff. Happy birthday, Ty Cobb, DMX, Steven Spielberg, and Brad Pitt. That's on this day in history. All right, before the NFL, let's talk a little WWE. And John Cena officially retired this past weekend. And it was sad. He was my childhood hero. He was my sister. My sister adored him and was her hero beyond anything. Great guy. I mean, he is the most Make-A-Wish grants of all time. I mean, world record most Make-A-Wish. And fantastic person. Like I said, he puts the company first, and it just came back to bite him on this farewell tour. And Triple H, you are a bum. You're a bum, dude. Way to ruin the greatest human, the greatest athlete we've ever seen, the greatest champion to the cause, especially of the WWE. Give him one of the worst retirement tours I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the show is Kids Cover Ears, scripted, and this is what you do for him after he's given so much to this company for 23 years? John Cena debuted June 27th, 2002, all the way to December 13th, 2025. 2,320 matches, 1,818 wins, 444 L's, 58 ties. He debuted 8,570 days to the last match. 726 televised matches. His honors 17-time world champ. That's the most ever. Got that during his retirement tour. I'll give him that. 5-time U.S. champ. 1-time intercontinental champ. That's all he was missing. So I'll give him that he got added to that. 4-time tag team champ. And 2-time Royal Rumble winner. Now, there was some good things. him winning his 17th title, him getting his Intercontinental, his battle with Cody, him turning heel. I guess that was fun. That really drew a crowd back to the WWE because I wasn't watching the WWE. And then you see, I guess, The Rock come out and Travis Scott, whatever that was, come out and John Cena turns heel on Cody Rhodes. And you're just like, what the heck just happened? John Cena, the nicest guy ever, did that? No. And so that was a good storyline, but they just didn't do anything with it. Like, The Rock didn't come back out. He just kind of turned babyface again. Like, there was nothing that happened. He just, like, went back to being happy and nice. There's no storyline for that or main cause for him to go back to being nice. And then you don't face Randy Orton. You don't face CM. You really face CM Punk that much. And you have some other random matches. You got AJ Styles, Logan Paul. Like, why is he facing Logan Paul? Dominic Mysterio. That was good if you've been watching WWE. Just mishandled matchups and rivalries throughout the end. And, I mean, I remember when CM Punk was leaving WWE, I mean, Vince had him beat John Cena and steal the championship belt and run out the arena. I remember that. I was so upset that night when John Cena lost to CM Punk. And, like, we couldn't do that for John Cena. Like, maybe it's what he wanted just to be done. But to get to Saturday night, after what this guy's done for the company, and you say, hey, you're going to lose to this Gunther guy, which I had no idea who he was. I have no idea. And he looks old. John Cena, he puts his career company first, and he puts those younger guys to give them a break and to put them on the main stage. This guy is old, and apparently he's been a heel for a long time. And there was no reason in hell to have him tap out to Gunther? What? After not tapping out for 20 years? A guy who says never give up as his motto gives up in his final match, and then Triple H has the audacity to go out there smiling ear to ear saying, yeah, we screwed these people over. It's just ridiculous what I saw from what Triple H did to John Cena and this company. And I think that you should stop watching WWE. I'm not watching it. I only watch it for John Cena. And I mean, I've been watching it. And I don't think I can ever turn it back on until they make it right with John Cena. This could be some bigger picture. I don't know. But, man. And Triple H heard the boos. He heard the you messed up chants. He heard everything. And I'm glad he did because he messed up John Cena's legendary retirement. And it's just weird. No speech, no ceremony. I mean, a tribute video in the beginning. No major title on the line. Like, go lose a major title. Like, it just makes no sense. And apparently this Gunther guy tapped out a week ago to Jey Uso or something like that. So, it's just weird. I did not understand it, and I was beyond upset. Twitter was beyond at Triple H and WWE. And, man, we miss Vince running the show. But it just sucks what they did to John Cena in this final match, his final time as a WWE current roster member. I know he'll be back. He will. But childhood hero is done. He is done, and it is sad to say goodbye, especially the way it ended. It sucked. It's stupid. I hate it. Triple H, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for it. If you watch WWE, you can't anymore. You got to put it away. It's over, man. It's over for Triple H. So, let me know your thoughts on what happened in WWE this week with John Cena's retirement. But, man, that sucked. That was stupid. I mean, nothing but horrible words for it, for them to treat the GOAT like that. So, let me know. But, bad. Bad. All right, let's go into Week 16 in the NFL. I mean, we got games that are going to decide divisions, games that are going to decide titles, games that are going to decide seeding. And this is going to be the first year since 1998 without Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, or Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. So, man, uncharted territory. It's going to be weird. But, man, first we got to start with the horrible news from this weekend, and that's Patrick Mahomes and Micah Parsons tearing their ACLs on the same day. And, man, you got to feel for the Chiefs. Like, you're used to winning. I think you've been to 9 straight AFC championships or something like that. I think Mahomes has only been to AFC championship games. And luckily for them, he didn't have other structural damage. He could be only out 9 months. He should be back maybe for week 1, week 2 of the NFL season. We'll see. Probably not, but could happen. And then Micah Parsons, even worse. I mean, his injury looked bad, and it probably got the same amount of time. Remember, Adrian Peterson, he tore his ACL. He was back 8 months later, rushing 2,000 yards. So there's hope for both of these guys. Both teams, though, well, Green Bay, more importantly, looking to make a run in the playoffs. They got a big game this weekend, and that is just going to hurt bad for this Packers team. And obviously for the Chiefs. I mean, not just this year, obviously, they're out of the playoffs, but this is Patrick Mahomes, probably the best quarterback in the NFL. He's done for a few months. He's got a rehab, won't be spring training or OTAs, anything like that. And just have to go back out there, stay, and can't use his legs as much the next few seasons. And his escapability has helped this Chiefs team numerous occasions. So, big hurt for both teams, and hopefully both these guys can get a speedy recovery. Maybe not too speedy on Mahomes, man. As a Broncos fan, maybe chill out just a little bit. Take a few extra weeks off, man. You got it. Take a few extra weeks. But going also out of the NFL, Phillip Rivers, I mean, wow. Came in as a 44-year-old man. I mean, and a grandpa. He's a grandpa at 44 years old for Indiana. Got 10 kids. Led a game-leading drive versus Seattle. Ended up losing 18 to whatever, but went 18 of 27, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Very serviceable for a grandpa. He is going to start Monday Night Football for this Colts team as well. So, man, that's just crazy stuff right there. Been out of the league for 5 years, and he's back. So, just don't get hurt, man. Don't get hurt, Phillip. Miami, they're benching Tua Tagovailoa for Quinn Ewers. They also have Zach Wilson on the roster. So, Tua time looks like it's Tua over in Miami. For the games this weekend, we got some great ones, man. It's going to be fun. Jacksonville at Denver, the 1 versus 3 seed in the AFC. Denver, a 3-point favorite in this one. And we got final Thursday Night Football. The Seahawks beat the Rams in overtime. Wow. This Seahawks team is legit. Don't they think they wish that Minnesota kept Sam Darnold? Man, what a cheap get for Seattle. Denver, though, going back to this game, Denver, top 5 defensively in the NFL and leads the NFL in sacks by a wide margin. Offense has picked it up a little bit. They're 11th in total offense now, but high teens in rushing and passing attack. Bo Nix has been playing better ball as of late. 3,200 yards, 23 touchdowns, but 9 interceptions. Gotta limit those turnovers, man, obviously. Trevor Lawrence on the other side, a guy who we thought maybe this could be his last year in the NFL. He's not really picking up. He's not doing much, but he's definitely done great. 3,200 yards, same as Bo, 23 touchdowns. The only difference is 2 more interceptions. He's got 11 instead of 9. Cannot do that. This Broncos team is going to make you turn the ball over. They will definitely do that. So, especially if you're that turnover prone. ETN, 949 yards, 7 touchdowns for Jacksonville. And this Jacksonville defense, they've got a defense of their own. And they're no bums as well. They've got a top 10 D. Denver 7-0 at home this season. And win streak stretches back even further into past into the last season. Both teams on 5-0 winning streaks. Jacksonville 5-2 in one-score games, while Denver, they're the one-score kings at 8-2. And remember, those first two games they lost in the season, game-winning field goal walk-offs. Jacksonville 7-2 when leading at the half. Denver 6-1. So both teams have been clutch. Both teams have been able to stop those second halves and just put their foot on the gas and not let up. Denver knows how to win close. Jacksonville put up 48 last week on the Jets. That's the Jets. Doesn't really matter this week against this really good defensive team. But give me Denver in this one, 27-24. Going to be a very close game. Going to be a lot of fun in the Mile High City. All right, New England at Baltimore Sunday Night Football. This is definitely going to decide some seeding as well. New England, that second seed in the AFC. Ravens right now on the outside looking in. One game back of the Steelers for that 4 spot. But right now, Baltimore, of course, is out. They one game back of the division. Baltimore, 3-point favorites in this one, and they need this to keep those AFC North hopes alive. New England, Drake May has been fantastic, phenomenal. MVP looking with 3,500 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Stephon Diggs, 731 yards catching, 10.9 yards a catch, but only 3 touchdowns. If you can, let him find the end zone. This Diggs guy is pretty good, so let him get close to that end zone, and he won't have to work much, but he can get in that end zone. Lamar, 2,200 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Doesn't have many rushing touchdowns, but he's still got 333 yards on the ground, and he doesn't need to run that much when he's got this dog, this beast in the backfield, and Derrick Henry, who's got 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. Old man Henry is still putting on a clinic. New England top 7 in defense and offense. Matchup to watch so in this one. Baltimore's number 3 rushing attack with 116 rushing yards a game versus New England's top 5 defense line only allowing 95 yards a game. New England, they've been great. They could have been even better. They blew a 21-point lead versus the Bills last week. New England 6-0 on the road. Baltimore 3-5 at home. And I'm gonna pick the Patriots in this one. This one is a coin flip for me. Either team can win this. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Sometimes I am. This game I'm not. I'm gonna take the Patriots. Why not? 27-25. Gonna be high scoring. Gonna be a lot of fun. Great battle. Maybe some snow. I don't know. But give me New England. Why not? Keep the dream season going. And then this game will have some snow. Green Bay at Chicago. It's going to be cold. Game last week, cold. Game before that, cold. And Green Bay is actually a 1.5-point favorite in this one. Rematch of 2 weeks ago where Green Bay won 28-21. And they were up pretty big in that first half. Chicago made a comeback, tied it at 21. For Green Bay got a late touchdown and late turnovers to seal it. Love has been really good this season. 3,300 yards, 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Did not pay him too much, apparently. Or too early. He's been looking, he can feel the love. Josh Jacobs, 809 yards, 13 touchdowns. Fantastic addition, again, for this Green Bay team. Got there last year, but Caleb Williams for Chicago, 3,100 yards, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. The young guy has been fantastic. This is a Chicago team that is very young, but they're very clutch as well, and a new head coach. They've been very, very good. Swift, a great addition. He's not very young, but great add. 935 yards, 7 touchdowns. Green Bay's defense is top 10 in every single category. 949 total yards allowed, 208 passing yards allowed, and 100 rushing yards allowed per game. Chicago offense, fantastic. Top 5. They're young and healthy. 369 yards and number 2 rushing attack. So, Ben Johnson has been great. He doesn't just throw the football. The other side, though, defense for Chicago, not too good. 24th overall. And Green Bay's offense, I wouldn't want to face them. They've been lights out. Recently put up a lot of points versus Denver. Denver's great defense, so could be barbecue chicken once again. Chicago 5-1 at home. Green Bay 4-2-1 on the road. Green Bay, though, 4-0 in the division. Chicago is 1-3. Yikes. You need to win those divisional games if you're Chicago. Need those tiebreakers. And then Chicago 6-2 in one-score games and 8-2 when leading at the half. That's like I said, they're clutch and they know how to win these games. So back and forth. This is a coin flip. Also, I'm not an expert. Sometimes I am. I don't know. Give me Chicago. Why not? No, never mind. Take it back. Give me Green Bay. 26-24. Green Bay looks really good. No Micah. Maybe no problem. But give me the Packers in this one. They've just been playing really, really good football. Chicago's been playing fantastic as well. I'm just going to take Green Bay. I don't know. Could be either or. We'll see. Could be wrong. But let me know your thoughts on that. All right. Let's go on the final segment. Who I want to share my burger and brat with? I'm going to share my burger and brat with the legendary actor and director Rob Reiner, who was tragically murdered this past weekend. Very, very sad, very heartbreaking, fantastic human being, man. I mean, Wolf of Wall Street, The Dad and New Girl, and then he produces Stand By Me, Spinal Tap, A Few Good Men, The Princess Bride, and Misery, and not to mention when Harry Met Sally, and him changing the ending of When Harry Met Sally because he met his wife on the set. I mean, this was an ultimately great guy who stood up for what he believed in, and it just super, super sad to see an incredibly talented, gracious, charismatic, and not even enough good adjectives can explain Rob Reiner as a person. So incredibly sad to see what happened this weekend, and showing love and support to his family, his daughter, and just everybody who knew him. And it looks like everybody knew and loved Rob Reiner from the tributes pouring in. So, man, gave us some great films over those years. So I'm going to go watch a Rob Reiner movie this weekend for sure. Add it to the agenda. All right, everyone. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to follow the podcast, any platform, any streaming service, literally anywhere. Get your podcast at Burgers and Brats, and stay up to date with latest news on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Burgers and Brats. And hopefully just watch live on millions.co, and you watch this video on Spotify when it comes out. All right, everyone. Thank you all for listening. Take care. Stay safe. Boomer Sooner.